Campbell's comments back on a Sunday afternoon. I did a couple of shows, Breed to Succeed, just recently, and I think there's a bit of a calling for this time slot, especially now that the footy's finished. Mark Barton joins me from Nutrien Equine. Mark, firstly, thank you very much for joining me on a Sunday afternoon, mate, putting yourself out.
No, it's my pleasure, mate. Always a pleasure to catch up, mate.
I wanted to catch up with you. I'm going to put it out there actually as well that I'm going to do a little bit for you, and I'm going to be paid for it. So people will be wondering, how it all works. Sometimes a lot of people get fascinated as to how I make money, Mark, from time to time, but I will be getting paid. But I do want harness racing to survive. There's one of my key points, and I think we've got to be able to get a lot of these stories out there. And what you guys are doing, you're a very big company. You're a company that spends a lot of money and puts a lot of money into everything that you do. You're at the early stages of your harness racing, hopefully, livelihood. But it's possibly been a very trying 2020, to say the least, mate.
Yeah, you roll the clock back. You wonder when you pick your timing, and timing's everything. But I am a big believer. We got into the performance horse market right on the back of EI, and we brought forward a program we had mapped out for 2 years by 6 months when EI opened up, because there was just this calling in the market, and it was a master stroke that we fumbled on, to be honest. And I guess I look at what's going on here, and we've seen some pretty tough times for the sport, but I must say it's resilient, and I must say it's a credit to the people that are decision makers and owners and trainers, and the way that all the codes in racing have just kept the business going. And I'm really we've learned a lot in the last 12 months, but I'm really excited that the fact that our business is part of it. We've been at performance or selling for a long time, and we've learned a lot in the last 6 months, and it's been a really exciting time. And like I say, I'm in awe of some of the structure and resilience that the sport and the industry shown.
I'm going to try and promote it in the best way that I can, and I know you guys are as well. We're going to try and catch up possibly Wednesday night. I'll be either with Daniel Jack live or Sonia Daniel said depending on how they go at the run up on at Shepparton on Wednesday, and the likes will try and catch up with Craig Turnbull, Steve Boyington as well, that have all got some horses running up on that day. The reason I said we'd do today was one, obviously first Sunday without football and the likes, and to be able to promote it in a different light. But you were going to have the Menangle ready to run-ups, and we're going to have Ricky Alchin come on, but that didn't happen, unfortunately. Another curveball for 2020, mate.
Yeah, look, it was the positives come out of everything. Emma Yo, that some of the people that are working with us now have met or spoken to plenty. Em was already at Picton, ready for this morning last night. My family, mum and dad, are only about an hour and a half from Menangle track. So when the rain came yesterday afternoon, we were already en route to those destinations. And like Em said, she spent the night at Picton with her sister. I spent last night at home at Kangaroo Valley with mum and dad. So we both just said, well, look, let's smile and look at the next week. But they've had, I think, around 5 or 6 inches over the last 24 hours on that Menangle track. And look, I must say the Menangle crew with Bruce Christensen at the head kept us informed. We talked about it when it came down to it. The guys managing the track, they talked about the horses' safety, what they could give us this morning on it, even if it had been an easy morning, but it bucketed down this morning again. So I'm pleased we did that. It's in the interest of owners of horses, and Ricky was the only one putting horses round, so it's critically important we look after him. But we'll run again next week, mate, next weekend.
That's a plan. So for the ones of Ricky Orchins, they will dash up next Sunday morning.
That's the plan. Look, as it turns out, tomorrow and Tuesday with Melbourne Cup Day, Menangle weren't racing, and Bruce mentioned they had booked in they're going to do up the whole track Monday, Tuesday, and it was just unable to be changed. Then you got Penrith Wednesday. We've just left it flexible. Let's look at the weather, and they've been great. They said, look, let's see what else we can do if it looks terrible for Sunday. But with the thought that a few of the trainers and other guys said, look, Sunday morning we can have breakfast, go out to the track, watch them work. I think it makes sense. We've still got 10 days to get that footage up there. Which, like Ricky said, we're only going to be a week closer to sale time to give people a clearer picture. But yeah, like I say, that's what I've enjoyed about this, a regulated sport, a lot of professional people, and we've really enjoyed working, with Bruce. Like I say, when the decision had to be made, you make the right one, and Ricky and his clients have all been very helpful. They've all been very supportive. So we'll try again next weekend.
I've got plenty of people watching live. If anyone has a question for Mark, by all means, just fire them through. That's half the idea of going live, is to be able to get it interactive and the likes going forward. Nutrien Equine, the website's just scrolling across the bottom there, .com.au. It's ever evolving, this website, mate. I spoke today. We were going to try and do this earlier. It went offline again because it's always growing. You're always refurbishing it, I suppose, and trying to keep up with everything. To the extent today, you had to put across there that the run-ups were cancelled. So it's an ever-changing website, but you're trying to look after everyone, I think.
Look, mate, it's again, like I say, after 13, 14 years of performance horse. I wish we'd have taken on the challenge of being part of Standardbred selling a long time earlier, because we've worked out what the market, or we're trying to learn what the market wants. We've got terrific feedback, trying to make that interactive catalogue work. For example, with our main yearling sale for April, we've gone with a QR code will go in the catalogue this year. So when we get those hard copy catalogues come out in December, you'll be able to scan your phone over each lot. And Alan Parker from WA, he's going to upgrade those, update those every Tuesday. So, the red print's going to be there every Tuesday. If you've got your catalogue in your living room, just scan your phone over it, and it'll take you straight to our website with any updates, any more photos, videos, horses run that are relevant. We can link those in, and it's probably evolving because our clients will learn how to use it. Our performance horse clients use it really well. But there's 3 or 4 things that I know Brett Coffey last week gave me a half a dozen wish list things at Alabar. Could it do this? Could it do that? So that was one of the Sunday plans for today. The guys have been working on a few things to just tweak it and hopefully make it more interactive.
And I would imagine that's one of the big challenges that you've got is trying to, keep everyone happy, but also probably change some of the harness racing mentality, if you like. Harness people probably, like a lot of performance horses, they're probably, I'm not sure of the word, but don't like change, don't like different, and the likes, and they've called for change and they want different, but then they probably want the catalogue exactly the same as what APG used to put it out at, and Graham Board and Co and all the rest. So I suppose that's one of the challenges that Nutrien have had to take on, that one, keeping it a little bit similar, but also putting your own stamp on it and being able to sell what you guys are trying to do.
Yep. Yeah, look, we again, it's probably a benefit not having too much history in some respects, but then there's a lot to learn, because the history of the sport's what's really important to understand that, the successes of families of horses, the success of families of owners and trainers and drivers. I think that's the important part, that we recognise and learn that history. But just because it's done the way that Dad did it isn't always because it's the best way. And like I say, one of the things with the Ready to Run, traditionally we'd all go to a track and watch those horses run up, and we'd sell them that afternoon. I think what some of the thoroughbred guys, and even what New Zealand Bloodstock have done, with their online sales, I think we've grown in confidence. And I think a broad spectrum of people, from the kids. I think kids at school now, they eat us all on technology, but the 30-somethings to the 60-somethings are embracing this stuff. And I think the online catalogue like this, for a young horse to have to only go to Shepparton and to Menangle rather than all concentrate at one track, I think that's really valuable for those young horses in their future too.
I was talking to Dean Poole a little bit earlier on today, just so that I want all participants to be aware that, if they want to get their word out there, Nick Hooper, I've done a lot with Nick. I'm sure I'll do one of these definitely with him, but explaining to him that we want to be able to showcase everyone's. Dean was explaining to me one of the tricky parts is that he has one horse that Steve Boynton's doing, and he hasn't been able to go there and look at it because of the Shepparton, because Shepparton's governed by HRV, and with the COVID restrictions and the rest, he hasn't actually been able to go there and actually see that horse work. And he would live 20 minutes away. Wouldn't even live 20 minutes. He probably only lives 5 minutes away. Yet Craig Turnbull does the other two, and he's been able to go out there and see them. And he said it's just a unique experience. He's not complaining. He's just aware of people that are out there wanting to put their hands in their pockets, say, geez, it'd be nice if we could go and see them. Well, the owners are in the same boat. So, don't worry.
Well, look, it's like Flemington with the thoroughbred guys Tuesday when you hear that owners can't even be on site, and I think, like I say, that's one of the things that's interesting is resilience for the sport to be able to keep going, and I think even programs like yours, there's a lot of people that are craving track time that are actually looking at what other way do we get it. I know, there was a big draft, $100,000 camp draft that ran in Tamworth, New South Wales over the weekend, and restricted to 150 competitors and live feed. I know I was away, but family was saying, look, we're watching the final of this thing on a live feed, streaming it live, and I think we've come to probably accept that in the last 6 or 9 months, haven't we?
Absolutely. And even just you and me talking right now, every now and then we're getting a bit of an internet glitch. Prior to COVID-19, everyone would say, oh, that's poor and all the rest. But now people realise that every now and then there's just a bit of a stutter between you and me with the Zoom, and they accept it as the norm. Mate, to be able to access these catalogues, and that's the other thing we've got to get out, because people say, oh, yeah, they've got their sale on between the 20th and the 22nd of November. Firstly, to be able to access the catalogues, you go to the nutrienequine.com.au website, which is scrolling, as I said, underneath the bottom there. Go to the Standardbred section, because you've got a performance horse section as well. Hey, but go to the other side as well. Don't be scared. And people that are going to the other side, don't be scared to go over and have a look at the Standardbred. I think that's one thing we should be trying to do. You then... Well, you did hit a big you hit a big banner, but we're saying about the site being ever updated. I believe it's changed a little bit, but you're able to just find the ready-to-run online sale. And from there on, the catalogue's sensational, I think. It's different. There's a couple of little parts that don't work, but you can see where you're trying to build that.
Yeah, look, it's being able to link like sires and video footage and photos. And look, you mentioned Ricky. I think, Ricky Alchin's a professional when it comes to the ready-to-run concept. He likes it. He's helped us with a platform of, and other vendors and trainers have said, yep, like the way he's doing it, and we've been able to keep getting their own footage. And also just watch the journey of these horses over 4, 5, 6 weeks. Look, this is it on week 1 of it coming back in. A lot of them are second prep. You see the extended footage. You also see, I know you talked about Daniel Jack earlier. There's a half sister to a really good horse that's racing over in WA. It's Dr. Tom. He's won 2 out of 3. So we can link that. We had that footage up of that horse, and I think that's what's really interesting. You can go straight to the relevant stuff, and it stays current. If the vendors or the trainers get familiar with this stuff, hopefully we can link. If you're looking for a particular sire, you can find other lots in catalogues or other lots by vendor. But like I say, getting feedback, and look, it won't be perfect, but our technical guys have worked pretty hard to try and make it better. So it's and the feedback's been good. At least between now and April, I'm sure it'll evolve again.
Oh, it definitely will, and I think this time next year you'll be even more prepared. That'll be one thing about it. What I do like about your catalogue, and it's something I want people to go there and actually have a look. When you put the photo in, so people can see actually when those photos were actually logged in, which if the vendor are up to, the sellers are up to date when they take those photos, they'd be sending them through to you. So you get a bit of a timeline on how they're changing in their development. The Love You colt, I had a little bit of a look at that one because, as I said, done a bit with Nick Hooper and the likes, and you can see that they're gone in at different dates. So obviously they send them through at different dates so people can actually appreciate when those photos were taken. So if the photo's an older photo, that log thing, probably something a lot of people don't think about. It was just one of those little things I didn't mind. I quite liked it. You can zoom in, zoom out on the photos as well, which is sensational because I think you've got to be able to do that because with COVID-19, a lot of people aren't going to get to see these horses probably until they arrive at their house on a truck.
Yeah, exactly. And look, and I think it's if you've got good front-on shots, and look, and that's what our breeze-up idea was, to try and get some good front-on shots so you can see the legs, get some profile shots of the horse, see him in the in that marshalling area, just to get a feel for the temperament or how the horse is handling being in that environment, and then they get that footage of that 800 metres. But it's trying to present as much really information to trainers or potential owners so that they can have a confident buy with confidence. And I guess that's it. Also with these online sales, the more information you can disclose, the more confidence people are going to come to the market to buy.
Absolutely. Steve Dixon said there, love to see ready to run sales back, giving the industry another opportunity to market. our horses, thanks to Nutrien. So I mean, that's one bit of feedback, but we've had no questions, but that's okay. We don't mind if people do or don't ask the questions. But this platform is there, as I said. Going forward, I'm going to possibly Wednesday night, all going well, be catching up either with Sonia Ma or Daniel Jack live. I do a different show, so they'll be incorporated in that show, but I'll be making sure I put it out there and just trying to raise the profile of these Victorian horses. I will be try and catch up with most of the other guys. I think I'm sure the other vendors will be only happy to give me a ring as well, and we can have a chat about their horses. We'll try and do it on a bit of a structured time, but effectively you've only got 3 weeks, so it's pretty exciting time, isn't it? 3 weeks to go and it's all over.
Oh, exactly. And look, if Steve's on, it's good just to mention. I know he's got a filly, a well-said filly. It's Double Cross of Arts Place. And I know he rang the other day just saying, look, really happy with the way it's been. The feedback's coming from his trainer that it's working well. Wednesday's not far away, but I know he was good enough to put one in there, and I know as he's gone, he said, it's getting more and more I see it, the more I like the filly, or the more it feels like one that I could actually race myself. And I said, well, they're the ones we want to actually be putting up for sale, so we've got to give him a plug, seeing he's logged in to hear what we're on about. So.
No, he's pretty passionate, Steve. He logs into a lot of the times. I must say, he generally sends me a little sneaky message. He doesn't sort of send them on the platform, so that's a great push that he's spoken up. A lot of people get shy about those sort of things from time to time, Mark. That's for sure. So, mate, I'm going to let you go. We'll keep it short, we'll keep it sweet, but we want everyone to go to nutrienequine.com.au. It's going across the screen right now as we speak, and log on and check these lots out and go from there. Keep an eye on Campbell's comments. I'll be putting alerts out when I'm going to go with the likes. As I said, tune in Wednesday night. We'll definitely have at least one trainer. We may have up to 3 trainers going on. Daniel Hibbard will be with me. We're doing a show. My show's got no name, Mark. I'd love to tell you what it's called, but it's actually the show with no name. So, and it may stay that way. I don't know, but we'll definitely catch up with them, and then going forward, we'll catch up with Ricky. Whether that's Sunday night, I'd love to do it Sunday night, but depending on how he goes after the sales and everything else he's got planned, we may not be able to do that. But we'll catch up with him and a few of the other players as well going forward from now till the 20th of November.
Sounds good. Well, look, like I say, this Ready to Run was something that people came to us and said, look, we wanted liquidity in horses outside of the yearling sales, and it was something we're asked to do, and we've got 20-odd horses, 27, I think, in the catalogue this year, which we've learned a lot doing it, and it's been a lot of fun, and there's some nice ponies. So hopefully we can see someone get one that they can. I'm sure there's a couple in there that people can have a lot of fun with. But we appreciate you guys getting on board. Like you said, we have looked at you guys supporting us, with a package to promote our business, but. Our aim is to try and get our name and our clients' horses out there as much as we can, and call us if we can help.
Absolutely, and Campbell's comments is about promoting harness racing. So, I mean, anyone's got a story, so someone wants to promote their horse in a different way, give me a yell. If I can facilitate it, I will. There's no hassles there, but get onto the Ready to Run. One thing I've got to point out too, so people are aware, there's actually 2 trotters listed in this sale. But I believe there is one other one, and I'm not going to throw you under the bus unless you do know the number. The number, there is a pacing bred trotter going through the sale as well. Mark's just looking it up, I reckon, as we speak.
Yeah, I reckon I am too.
And there is also one withdrawal already, which is lot 12, but that's okay. It's gazetted in the on the page. So, but there is something for everyone. And have you found that trotting one? Because I actually tried looking for it and couldn't find it.
Yeah, look, it's on account of Stardine, which is the Calderfelts from Wagga. So it's a Tintin in America, mate. So and that's what he said. Look, when he rang me about the horse, said, "Oh, look, I've got one here," and he said it trots really well. It's a gelding, really nice horse, and I know it goes back to it's out of a mare called Let Us Grin, so it goes back to Arts Place on the dam side, but. When I know talking to Ricky, who's got the horse, and he said he's just a really pleasant horse. He's going really nice, and he actually he said, look, he's bred to pace, but he's going to be a really nice trotter for someone. So yeah, I think that was when they asked, will we put the horse up? I said, no, look, I think that's interesting for us too. What does the market look for? And the more I've asked the question of people, the more people say, look, there's been plenty of pacing bred horses that have been more than competitive in the square gate. So I think he's a really nice pony for someone to see. Not today, but next Sunday. Now we'll see him breezed up and see how he goes.
And
there is footage online.
Yeah, and I was just going to say today there was a trotter actually.
There's footage of him. Yeah.
Sorry, mate. Go ahead. We just stood
I
up.
just say no. There's footage online. He's lot number 20. That horse. Yeah.
Yep. Very good. Lot number 20. What I was going to say is there was a horse race today at Maryborough. Effectively won the consolation of the Redwood, and it's called It's Not My Gate, and he's 100% pacing bred. There's very little trotter in him. He come over from Western Australia, and as a 2-year-old, he's won two 2-year-old trots so far. So don't be scared off by the fact that he's a trotter. It's actually sometimes a better dream sometimes, I think. So yeah, it's all good. Mark, thank you very much for joining me, mate, on this. I'm going to get it out there as much as I can. As I said, we've got to increase the profile of these things. I think this is a great concept. We've got to get it out there. We'll be, as I said, catch up with people from Wednesday onwards. But any participants, any vendors that are trying to get a little bit more exposure, don't be scared to contact Campbell's Comments either, and I'll definitely look after you as best I can going forward, mate. Mark, thank you very much for joining me, mate.
My pleasure, mate. We'll talk soon.
Thank you, mate.